Ballet for Martha, Making Appalachian Spring, by Jan Greenberg and Sandra Jordan, illustrated by Brian Floca. Sometimes art is made by one artist, working alone, but sometimes it is the result of artists working together, collaborating, to forge something new. It took more than a year and the imaginations of many talented people for Appalachian Spring, the dance created by Martha Graham, to be performed on stage for the first time. The result was an American classic. This is the story of how it happened. The dancer and choreographer. The composer. The artist. Together they created a ballet about a new home, a new family, a new life, a dance about America. Before it was a dance, it was a story to be told in movement and music, not in words, a story of the frontier when pioneer families traveled west to put down roots, a legend of American living, says Martha. Martha asked the composer Aaron Copland to create music for her ballet. She writes a script for him, struggling to get down on paper the rarin'-to-go rhythms of a new land. She waits for his answer. The characters are too severe, he tells Martha. She adds Pocahontas and a runaway slave to her tale. Then she cuts them out and rewrites it again and again. It took time to think it through. At last, Martha and Aaron agree. The dance will take place in springtime in the hills of western Pennsylvania, where a young farmer and his bride celebrate their wedding day. There are no steps yet, but Aaron knows the way Martha and her dancers move. Her steps are unusual. She moves differently from ballerinas. No toe shoes, no tutus, no pirouettes. Nobody else seems anything like Martha, he says. There's something simple yet strong about her, which one thinks of as very American. I wanted something more from dance, she says. Why should an arm, moved a certain way, suggest a wildflower, or a hand, or rain? The hand is too wonderful a thing to be an imitation of something else. She wants dance to be truth, truth about emotions. My dancers never fall to simply fall. They fall to rise. The movements are not always pretty. Not everyone likes Martha's new way of dancing. Audiences have booed her performances, but Martha never lets that stop her. Ugliness, if given a powerful voice, can be beautiful, she says. Aaron sits at the piano and tries out some notes. As he searches for a melody, he discovers an old song, a Shaker hymn. It's a gift to be simple, it's a gift to be free, it's a gift to come down where you want to be. The thread of the rhythm winds through his music. At the top of the score, he writes Ballet for Martha. He records himself playing the finished piece on a rickety old piano and sends it to her. This time, he is the one waiting for an answer. Martha listens to Aaron's music. In it, she hears the rollicking echo of a Virginia reel, the galloping energy of a rodeo, the lilting melody of the Shaker hymn. She begins work, turning steps into patterns that will bring the dance to life. There will be 8 dancers in Martha's ballet. Martha's role is the bride. Eric Hawkins, the man she loves, plays the husbandman. She bases the pioneer woman on her great-grandmother. She went from Virginia to Pennsylvania and her family in search of good soil to till. She was very beautiful and always very still. Aaron's music suggests the movement, fires the dancers' imaginations, dares them to do more. Martha tells them to listen with their bodies. Crouching on their knees, her dancers leap up, using their stomach and leg muscles, breathing in and out. If a movement doesn't work, Martha tries it a different way, and again a different way. Nearly right is not enough. Sometimes the dancers sit on the floor while she stands silently, staring out the window. Let's try this, she says, turning. She has a tantrum. She screams. She yells. She throws a shoe. The dancers wait. Martha always figures it out. The music and the movement are 2 parts of the dance, but a 3rd part is needed. She calls her friend, the artist Isamu Noguchi. In his sculpture, Isamu carves marble, granite, or wood. He transforms these materials into art. When he works with Martha, he transforms an empty stage into a fantastical world where the dancers can perform, a world of painted poles, bronze stools, hanging ropes, slanted steps, or a jungle gym. He brings her models so small they can fit into a matchbox. If Martha says, "It is lovely, but I need to think about it," he snatches it away, but always comes back with a new twist. I gave him the bones of an idea, and he would return with something whole. Isamu's set is spare and angular, like Martha's way of dancing. Peaked beams suggest a roofline. A narrow skeleton of a rocking chair is the woman's place, a special place Martha always asks him to design. The set is just what Martha hoped for, a new town, a place where the first fence is going up. I blended, melded with her somehow, and we were one, says Isamu. To the dancers, the stage is like an obstacle course. They dodge sharp angles and balance straight-backed on thin ledges. Even when the dancing is hard, they must make it look easy. Martha and her dancers tweak and polish, practice and perfect. Months later, they are ready. The troupe piles on a train for Washington, D.C., where the first performance will take place. When Aaron arrives for the dress rehearsal, he sees that the music he composed for one scene has been used to go with another. "It doesn't bother me a bit," he says, "especially when it works." "What will you call the ballet?" he asks. "Appalachian Spring," says Martha. She found these words in a poem that has nothing to do with ballet, she admits, but she likes the sound of it. As opening night grows near, the suspense mounts. Will the world understand what they have done? October 30th, 1944. The audience gathers. The music begins. A piano, 4 violins, 2 violas, 2 cellos, a double bass, a flute, a clarinet, and a bassoon. One by one, the dancers walk onto the stage to the solemn melody. First, the preacher in his wide-brimmed hat. The pioneer woman enters. Next, the husbandman comes out. As he walks, he touches the boards of their new farmhouse. His dreams for the future are in that gesture. Slowly the bride glides in, then runs to her groom. The preacher's 4 followers file in. The music turns lively and playful as the young girls dance in pairs, then form circles, fluttering, skittering, reaching up to the sky. The pioneer woman turns and sways, in and out around them, her steps light and graceful, a quiet force of nature. The bridegroom leaps and bounds like an acrobat, strutting, swaggering, showing off for his bride. The bride rocks an imaginary baby. The preacher joins the couple in marriage, and the celebration begins. The bridegroom twirls with his bride, then she prances in quick, small steps. The music turns fierce. The preacher delivers his fiery sermon. Towering, glowering, leaping like a cat, his long arms point toward the young couple. Is he warning them about hard times ahead? The followers fall to their knees, rocking back and forth. As each character takes center stage, the other players stay perfectly still, a tableau, frozen in time. The ballet ends as the husbandman and the bride enter their new house alone. The final, lingering notes seem to ask, what will happen tomorrow? The audience rises, clapping. The ballet is a triumph for the composer, the choreographer, and the artist. Critics call the dance Martha's love letter, her Valentine, her dance of hope. Aaron wins prizes for his music. But the life of Appalachian Spring goes on after that great night to become an American favorite, to be danced year after year. New dancers will take their turns to move to Aaron Copland's music, to interpret Martha Graham's steps, to dance through Isamu Noguchi's set. And the collaboration will be created anew.